Hey, you guys, this is Courtney Camaro. I'm outside of Muhammad Ali's real original home. We're in Chicago, and I wanted to shout out Al's Botanics and Herbs. Man, when I tell you, I am one of those people that has insomnia. I can't sleep. I can't focus on some days because I'm so sleep deprived, and this has helped. This is one of the mixtures he has that helps with sleep.
Come check out owlsherbs.com where we have all of your herbal needs and different variety of products from sea moss to black seed oil and a different variety of products for different health issues because your health is your wealth. What's going on? Let me see if my mic is good. Let me see here. Yeah, we looking good. All right. So I'm gonna try this again. Play some chess, and basically last time I played, I had some like lag. So I got a different computer. Got some different scenarios working in the mix, and got a couple things on my mind, and a couple things I want to talk about. So I'm going to get some stuff off my chest. Then I'm going to play some chess. Okay, okay. All right. So I just want to talk about. Let's just talk about. Let's just say disrespect. Disrespect, right? So, um, I just kind of saw the video of Ti son getting into it with the employees at the Waffle House. Okay, I don't know where. I definitely have been. I have definitely been to the Waffle House uh, several times all across the South. I've been a lot of different places, and I've been all throughout the South, going back and forth to Florida, Atlanta. Okay, I've stopped at the Waffle House. My favorite back in the day when I was going to Waffle House years ago was getting the steak, eggs, hash browns. You know what I'm saying? Cooked to order. That was like my favorite dish that I used to like to get. You know what I'm saying? Now, the thing is that little boy. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play. I'm gonna play the actual footage a little bit just to find clarity. Okay, just to find clarity and kind of just express my opinions of kind of somewhat of expectations, even though that's that's kind of saying a lot and also expecting a lot. And what I mean by that is a lot of times when you come from kind of like a situation where you have overcame poverty and you had to basically risk your hide doing criminal activities to make money to get to a higher level. A lot of times when you do achieve those higher levels, a lot of that ratchetness, a lot of that ghetto-ness, without any type of like therapy or something that even a religious conversion or something like that. Usually, a lot of times that behavior just kind of it just soaks in you and it's stays with you even if you do achieve a higher level or a higher class per se. And it just kind of that's what I mean by my expectations is not necessarily that high because I understand that world. I understand people that come out of that world. It's like kind of hard to overcome that, as well as just kind of leave that a lot of that behavior behind. And then also in this case, I would say creeps into your children. You know what I'm saying? You pretty much uh, your children are your first people that you actually teach. They see everything that you see and everything you do, and it becomes into their subconscious, and they actually a lot of times repeat what you say and do. That's why a lot of these children, whether they be teenagers or um, even in their adulthood, you show me somebody that's a racist, right? Or a bigot, I'll show you somebody that was basically radicalized by their parents to be that way. Okay. Um, and that's a lot of times what happens a lot. People just take on their parents' behaviors, as well as just they let their parents kind of let them do get away with a lot of things. And I'll play this video to show kind of what I think about this. It's a real short video, so it's not necessarily something that is too long. So okay, let me play this video to show context what I'm talking about.
Get the hell out my. Stop talking to me.
So basically, this Ti son, uh, King, he's getting into it with employees at the Waffle House.
This ain't your fucking restaurant. This ain't your fucking restaurant. Everything you make, I can pull out my pocket right now. I ain't tripping on you. I ain't tripping. Get the hell out my face. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. Who the hell is he? What's your name? My name King. You know it and your mama know it. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. File your shit. What? On game what? On game what? Come here. Come here. I'll show you what I do. Come here. I'll show you what I do. Come here. Come here. Come on. Come on. We out here. We out here. I'm outside. I'm outside. Come on, shake some. Come on, shake some. Come on, shake some. Hey, get your employees. Get your employees. Yeah, sucker something in this. Tell your mama Happy Mother. And you still talking inside though. You still talking inside though. Why you inside? Can't stop me from doing shit. Doing shit. Let me get my food. Thank you. Just talking like they like that. They ain't like that. Before I get back here, pistol with me. Fuck. Wait till I get back and see him out here late night. Wait till I slap a. Alright, yeah. Yeah, wait. Wait till I come back in the market late night. And then it's just you and I slap you up. Yeah.
All right. Basically, here's the thing. I mean, I know I could just imagine as far as a lot of times we have, we delicate with our children. We, kind of let them get away with a lot of stuff. We don't like to check our children, right? And with all due respect, as far as just if you want to just talk about it on a level of royalty, right? Just talk about it on a level of royalty. even even the the prince of you know the United Kingdom, you know, they don't necessarily talk like that, right? To the public, right? Definitely they don't talk like that to the peasants. Okay, they don't talk like that to the commoners, right? They don't do that. They taught at an early age how to talk, what to say, what to do. They taught how to behave. It's called home training. Hi, bye, thank you, no thank you, and then always, you can't it all comes down to, also, I say this a lot, where you spend your money is this is what Dick Gregory said. This is one of the gems that he dropped. Where you spend your money is where you put your power into. You know, any dollar that you give anybody, you giving them power. You literally giving them power. Because money, to a certain extent, is a certain level of power. Some people argue differently. At the end of the day, $1 million to a certain extent is very, very much powerful. Okay. If it wasn't powerful, then okay, they wouldn't even care if you got $1 million. It wouldn't be so everybody would get $1 million and a stimulus check if it wasn't powerful. If money wasn't powerful, they wouldn't be locking people up for PPP loans and you know s- credit card scams and bank robberies and so on and so forth. Right? If money wasn't powerful. So the thing is that if you are getting disrespectful service, which I have to admit, this is a widespread issue. This is something also that I kind of was thinking about. It's not nothing that I haven't said before, but a lot of people that work in restaurants as well as retail stores, even as high as just corporate America, people are conditioned to have really bad attitudes, really bad customer service, almost as if that you either take it or leave it type of mentality that they have toward you coming into their business or establishment to buy the goods or try to get their services. They are acting as if, okay, they're the only business in town. And I'm not going to say the business is acting like that. Usually it's an employee that works for the business, right? Everybody knows Walmart's customer service is normally crap, but Target's customer service is a little bit better depending on where you go and all of that other stuff. But trust me, I know. Okay, I've been to a lot of them, and it's kind of like Popeyes versus Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A actually reprimands their employees and make sure they train their employees to have exceptional customer service. And I'm sure they do not tolerate bad customer service. Thus, in order to keep the job or get the job, you have to have very good customer service skills. Well, Popeyes, notoriously is noted for not almost not even caring, almost accepting rude customer service behavior. Um, but okay, given that said, you don't necessarily I don't really go to Popeyes that much other than okay, yeah, part of my hustle is to occasionally pick up food. And I almost have to say a freaking seance before I actually go into Popeyes or a couple Hail Marys because almost all the time it's the customer service is kind of weird or shoddy at best or worse. So the thing is you don't have to go to these places. You don't have to give them your money, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And even worse, this is even worse, right? I'll be damned if I got a whole bunch of money, right? Or even worse, I'm rich and I'm complaining about customer service from a store. One of the things about me, you know, just like any other person that strives to be the best person of themselves walking on earth, like I'll take my money and actually if I had it like that, if I let's just say I had $10 million in a bank account, I'll just go start a store. I'll just start a restaurant across the street in 6 months. I'll make sure I have excellent customer service. I'll have an excellent business model and only hire the exceptional employees with good customer service skills and put you the fuck out of business. And laugh when I see the moving trucks come outside. Or actually, I wouldn't laugh, but I would just basically I would videotape it from afar, and I would kind of talk a little shit after you close up your shop because that's what you do. Um, one of the greatest actors, Sean Connery, said, "Revenge is best served cold." Okay, so the thing is that's that off top. And here's another thing: it does not excuse the behavior. Now, some people will be like, "Hey, bro, genius or whatever, NBA genius," because I'm not broke anymore. I just have to remind you. Yeah. Uh, Basically, yeah, I have daughters, but you don't know about me. You don't know my life. It's like one of those things, you know. I mean, what is it? IKYK. Like, if you know, you know. Like, I mean, I can speak on this. You know what I'm saying? Like, the thing about it is, you can get killed for acting like that where I'm from, which is Chicago. People have gotten killed for less. You know what I'm saying? Coming to people, talking shit about them or whatever, catching somebody at work, talking about meet me outside and all that other shit. Like, people where I'm from shoot up funerals. They have killed for less. They don't really, you know what I'm saying? That's not really tolerated like that here. Like, I mean, even probably even if you're respectful, you still probably can catch a bullet. So it's like, okay, that being said, I mean, I don't wish no harm on anyone that don't deserve it, but I mean, like, god damn, like you just can't act like that just because your father famous, your mama famous, or whoever is famous, because at the end of the day, they famous and got money. You just pretty much their child. You're not pretty much holding the crown yet. You still up under them, under their tutelage. So I mean, if your parents are pretty much excusing that behavior, that's wrong because that's setting you up for failure or a possibility of failure. One of the things that I don't really talk too much about, but it is kind of the reason why I always try to talk about saving money, and also I wrote the Millionaire Savings Plan, is because it's something called Murphy's Law. Murphy's Law is if you give a possible opportunity, it could possibly go that way if you leave that open. Meaning, typically in a personal finance space, it's like if you don't have enough money for something that go wrong, it goes wrong and you don't have anything to cover it. Well, in this case, I would apply Murphy's Law to actually getting in a situation where you get hurt or worse by basically disrespecting people just in general, and then definitely people that don't probably have what you have. At the end of the day, like, everybody ain't got no father that make millions of dollars, whatever the case may be, whether they a rapper or work for a Fortune 500 company. Most people don't have parents like that. A lot of people don't even have a father in their household. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, I mean, you gotta definitely tread lightly. Um, like I say, I definitely don't co-sign that. I don't co-sign that. My father would not allow me to talk to strangers like they pieces of shit. Like that my father would whoop my behind, and you know what I'm saying, my mother would not co-sign that either. Okay. So that was definitely nah, that I can't co-sign that. You know what I'm saying? I can't co-sign that. I mean, I'ma still listen to your music, but I can't co-sign that. Now, moving along, next thing I want to talk about is kind of going along with it. It's the 85 octane class, or um the kind of like BGS calls it the diesel culture or whatever, ratchet culture. One of the things that I noticed, right? This is something that I kind of noticed that is unique about men and women, primarily black women and black men. But I could even say this is just widespread. Uh, One of the things, if you didn't already, if you weren't sitting under a rock or whatever, if you haven't noticed, in America, black women are the leaders of all women in America. Okay, I'll repeat. They are the leaders of all of women. They represent all women right now in America. In case you've been sitting under a rock. Okay. So the thing about it is, one of the things I noticed is kind of going back to um the BBLs and the breast augmentations. It's another thing that I really didn't zero in on, but I'm gonna talk about it now. It's these fake ass eyelashes. Okay, this fake eyelash trend is something that I kind of noticed, because it's like one of the things is really costly for these fake eyelashes. It's not something new, but it's definitely something widespread. Looks utterly ridiculous. It's one of those things that it's kind of like women get them knowing men don't really like it, and then also they get them just to basically impress other women, which is also kind of like weird, and kind of like, um L cubit in a way, and that's definitely widespread, right? That's widespread. The L gibbet or whatever, you know, um, kind of like revolution or whatever you want to say in America, or actually in the world. But that's a whole nother topic for another day. But the thing is that one of the things that reminded me about these eyelashes is that basically what's unique is a lot of women, because they follow black women, they are literally following something that is basically from just basically a ratchet culture. So it's a ratchet culture, and here's the thing. This is where it's unique. Women that are millionaires are actually doing this, to, of course, actual women that are busted, right, broke, right, are actually doing this, right. And that's where it finds it where I see men differ, because one of the things about men, primarily, we don't follow broke motherfuckers in the projects, or even motherfuckers that came out the projects or whatever, came out the hood. We don't, I mean, yeah, a lot of the music, right, we listen to and stuff, but we don't necessarily try to have any type of trends as far as some fake body parts that we've tried to follow and mimic broke men that came out of the ghetto and also made some money or whatever. We don't follow our ratchet men, um as far as we try to look like them and shit like that, as far as take on ratchet behavior, as well as not so much behavior, but the trends as far as what ratchet dudes do. That's where men differ from women as far as the whole like eyelash thing and all other ratchet shit that women do. It basically follow in tow. Like it's almost like they're unified toward their ratchetness. Like if it's like if one is ratchet, we all ratchet. Well, men don't follow that. Thankfully, we don't follow that shit. Some do, some do. I'll admit some do, but we don't follow like ratchet dudes. We don't have a unity of ratchetness. You know what I'm saying? Like, as one of the things that I noticed, I know I'm not the only person that talked about this. You know, I I definitely we've talked about this in the Lions Den years ago. Um, you know what I'm saying? So it's not something new, but it's something that I definitely got reminded of because it's like women that have doctorate degrees and shit, they're literally have the same ratchetness as somebody that lives in the projects, and it's tripped out. It's very tripped out. So, what's next? What's next here? Uh, yeah, okay. Let's talk about image versus reality. Let's talk about image versus reality. Image versus reality. Um, what I mean by that is what you might want to be or your image, it don't hold up to your actual financial life. What do I mean by that? To go further deep, to go deeper. You might want to just have one job or a particular type of job, and that's it, right? You might, let's just say, you might want an office job, right? And that's it. You just want uh to be basically working as an office employee in a white collar job, and that's it, right? That's what typically a lot of people want, right? Or you want to have some type of image, right, of a businessman, and so on and so forth, right? Well, at the end of the day, uh that'll be nice for everybody to have a squeaky clean image, right? But to to have to try to lock into that image to your own detriment of your own bank account, financial goals, if you even have any financial goals, or even to the detriment of your wallet, use a new food. Use a new food, and I don't know where they do that at.
Hell to the no, to the no, 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 no. Hell no, no, to the no, no. Hell to the no, no, to the no, 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 no. Hell to the no, no, to the no, no, no. You big dummy.
Yeah, I don't know where they do that at. I don't know where the hell they do that at. Because if you think that a dude driving a truck, a plumber, a dude that's a handyman, a construction worker, bricklayer, just because these people do these type of thing, or even somebody delivering uh DoorDash or a Lyft driver, Uber driver, or whatever thing you think in your mind that these people, all of these people are necessarily broke. I mean, you got another thing coming, man. You got another thing coming because at the end of the day, it's about what you got in your pocket, man. What you keeping. It's about what you actually making. That's the end. The ends justify the means. If the ends don't justify the means, what you doing or what you thinking, your mindset, it ain't adding up. See, like me, for example, uh, I'm reminded that yeah, I mean, doing deliveries and shit for DoorDash, Uber Eats, being a Lyft driver or whatever, a gig driver. I mean, yeah, these jobs, man, these are not even jobs, these are gigs, right? The gig economy, right? A billion dollar, multi-billion dollar economy, right? Yeah, it's not ideal. Like, I mean, I would love to, have a job as a paralegal or a accountant or let's see, a financial analyst, a investment banker, right? I would love to for that to be an actual reality. I would love that. You know what I'm saying? I would absolutely love that. But at the end of the day, everybody's not going to be those professions. And, just because you don't work in those professions, it don't necessarily mean that you don't make money or you don't have a decent life or whatever, a lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? That is just where I have to say that people's image and perception of what they might think. Because if let's just say if you did, if let's just say if you saw somebody from your high school see you delivering DoorDash or delivering groceries for people, you would be embarrassed, right? But at the end of the day, right? Let's just say you could make $300 wearing a clown outfit, delivering um clown balloons and then I don't know, like throwing a pie at somebody's face, like for for amount of money, like somebody started a gig app where you dress up as a clown outfit and you throw pies at people's face and you make $100 per pie, right? All you got to do, go up to somebody, throw a pie at their face and dress up as a clown, and then people actually know you dress up as a clown and do this. I mean, I'm just speaking hypothetical, right? I mean, of course somebody's gonna actually do this, right? Now, you threw three pies that day and you made $300. Who gives a fuck that somebody knows you dressed up as in a clown outfit and you throw pies for a living? Throw pies at people's face and run away and hope not to get shot for a living. I mean, who the fuck cares? Because at the end of the day, the ends justify the means. If you know your ends don't justify your mindset is fucked up. It's fucked up because at the end of the day, like I say, I mean, to be personal, as long as you are able to meet your goals, like this book right here, it's about accomplishing those goals. If you got to dress up And whatever you got to do, as long as it's acceptable to you and it's something that you really want to do, and it's going to help you achieve your financial goals, and in this case in the millionaire savings plan, help you achieve a higher um step on the millionaire savings plan, who gives a hell? At the end of the day, count the money and laugh. I'm in my house, it's paid for, right? These people, when I go out and do deliveries, people don't know I got a house that's paid for. Okay, just another Dusty, right? I'm just another Dusty, right? But at the end of the day, these people, man, they living with their cousin, mama, brother, uncle, grandma, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I used to do that. I used to live with family. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with it. If you gotta get your life in order, you gotta get your life in order. But if you looking down on somebody because you think they broke because they delivering groceries, you might not understand business and startups. Okay, DoorDash is publicly traded, multi-billion-dollar corporation, mega billion-dollar corporation, and definitely Uber is no different. Okay, mega billion-dollar corporation. Now, did that trickle down to the average delivery guy or driver or whatever? I mean, we can talk about that for another day, but it definitely is, you're gonna make something doing it. And at the end of the day, some of these people are making $100,000 in Silicon Valley and San Francisco, living in their car, man, making tons of money doing deliveries, man, and whatnot. Certain areas making tons of money, making more than most people make from a job, right? But the image is that you ain't making nothing. Like I'll never forget. Like my dad was a taxi cab driver. The people like I grew up with used to laugh at my dad because he was a taxi cab driver. Do you know how much a medallion was in Chicago like 20, 30 years ago? Guess who had a medallion? My father. 200, 300 is worth about $400,000 now. Might be worth a little bit less because Uber came in and killed a lot of competition, right? But a freaking medallion means you don't have to pay, because I drove a cab and I didn't really understand the severity of how much money you could make as a cab driver, or used to be able to make, right? It's still out, still is people that prefer cabs, or they are trying to compete with Uber and stuff like that. And cab driving is still very much something you can make money in, right? But before Uber and all this other stuff, Lyft and whatnot, I mean, cabs was the main focus of transportation. Of course, you had the gypsy cabs or livery services, right? But the thing is that the the actual lease for to drive a cab in Chicago, I remember it was about $700 to $800. About, let's just say, I want to say about 15 to 20 years ago, it's about $700 a week. Just think about that. Calculate that. $700, $800 a week. The only way you can get, and that covers the lease of the cab for a week to drive the cab, and then also to cover dispatch fees. Whenever you drive a cab, you have to pay for the dispatcher to answer the calls and route those calls to the driver. A cab driver used to have to pay those dispatch fees plus the lease of the cab every single week. They don't pay it, they have to turn the car back, the taxi back in. And that doesn't even include the cost of the taxi. To make a car a taxi is very, very expensive. The paint, the stickers and all of that, the equipment, the meter, back then you had two-way radios. All of that to install was very, very expensive. It was not cheap. And basically a cab was like thousands of dollars to make the actual regular car a taxi cab. So not only did my father have that, he had a medallion which was worth hundreds of thousands of dollars, whereas somebody else father typically on the block just had an office job, probably what, making 30, 40,000 dollars a year. Yeah, it netted into something better when the pitching came in. But at the end of the day, my dad probably wasn't that good with money as I am. Some people just, they not good with money. But my father had an actual medallion and a taxi. And one of the things that I learned quickly when I tried to drive a cab back in 2008, when I was like, I needed a cab because I needed a car, and then I needed a way to make money because like pretty much quit my job, and I needed both a car and a way to make money or whatever. So I was basically indoctrinated into the cab business. I started driving a cab, and it was like I was doing it in the suburbs, so it was like $400 a week. I talk about it in one of my broke stories, but the thing is that what I learned is how much money you could possibly make, and this is all cash. That's why a lot of people used to rob cab drivers, and they still rob cab drivers to this day because cab drivers typically have a lot of cash on them. Some cab drivers, they could have back in the day, like even now, thousands of dollars on them. A lot of times I would drop people off at the airport because if you in the suburbs or whatever, you still could drop people off at the airport as well as picking them up. And I remember looking at guys, man, like from Somalia or Ethiopia or whatever, immigrants, they counting large amounts of cash, look like probably $2 or $3,000, and I'm thinking to myself, like, these people don't even know how much cab drivers are actually making. Like I say, this was before Uber and Lyft. This is like 2000, 2008, 2007. So it's like, I mean, the money that you can make is like, I mean, a lot of money back then. Like you could easily make $200,000 a year or more if you had a medallion. That means you don't have to pay no $700 a week. You only have to make like you only have to pay like let's see, 100, $200, and that's just the dispatch fees. And then you could make that within 2 or 3 hours. Actually, an hour in Chicago, you could make that within an hour or two, just picking somebody and dropping them off at the airport, taking somebody to the airport, and then dropping somebody off um at the airport, a round trip. So I mean, the thing about it is people don't notice. They thought that cab drivers was like a broke profession. And yeah, don't get me wrong, most people don't have a medallion and they struggle driving a cab. It's that side of it as well, the entry level side, when you just getting in and you don't have a medallion, you have to pay $700, $800 a week, and then you struggling trying to make that plus make more money to pay your lease. But this story, I mean, all you gotta do is ask a immigrant that used to drive taxis back in like 15, 20 years ago. They'll tell you how much money you could actually have made driving a cab. And it's very risky, of course, because you could get robbed. But then they start putting real thick glass in the back seat, so you give drivers protection and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, the propensity to get robbed, get into fights with people, because a lot of times people hate on cab drivers because they know how much they make. A lot of times people little kids, they don't know how much taxi cab drivers make, but adults, they know how much they could possibly make. So it's just one of those things that people just in their image, they in their head of what they think an actual rich person is, or what somebody actually does to make money, it's just kind of one-sided. It's almost having tunnel vision. I never forget, it's it's on my blog, my old blog. It's a dude that was a parking attendant. He made all of about 15 bucks an hour. He had over a half a million dollars in the bank, and he worked outside of basically a brokerage house. And he used to get advice from financial brokers and stock traders. And he basically amassed a lot of knowledge, and he took the little money that he had and put it in the stocks and other underlying securities, and made amassed a fortune working as a parking attendant. The average person pulling up, getting a ticket, going into a parking lot, think this dude is just broke as hell, just working a parking lot attendant job that he been working for like 20 years or more. Dude got a half a million dollars in a bank account, house paid off, uh, rich. Basically, this was 20 years ago. You know, rich as hell. That's rich. You got a half a million dollars. Like, you don't need to be a millionaire per se, depending on where you live, to be rich. A half a million dollars in a bank, liquidity, cash is definitely rich. Even still, I would say to today's standards, it's still rich. I mean, a lot of things are inflated, but like I say, I think the price is definitely gonna drop as far as a lot of stuff. But yeah, I mean, having a half a million dollars in the bank, people don't even have $5,000 in the bank, let alone a half a million dollars. Plus, you have your own steady income, coming in every month or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, your image of what you think in your head of how you think you could make money or supposed to make money or look while you making money will keep you poor. Okay, because poor is an acronym. Let me tell you what poor stands for. Okay, this is what poor basically stands for. And you hear this on even on YouTube, you hear basically people doing this every day. They do this to me, you know, and I just be like, okay, whatever. I'll show you better than I could tell you. I'll show you better than I could tell you. And that's the thing. A lot of times when people know that when they already see the success, that's when they actually they want what you have. You know, they want the actual material that you actually accumulate. They don't want to learn how you actually got it. So this is what the acronym of poor is. This is a poor person. Let me change this. Passing over opportunity repeatedly. So when you thinking like this is something that people that I know that does this. When you are passing over opportunities repeatedly, you're a poor person. You ain't got no choice but to be poor. Because you might think that the job you don't want to necessarily do it, like trucking. You don't want to do something like, even women, they don't want to, they talking about, I don't even like my own kids. I don't want to be a nanny. What are nannies making over $100,000 a year at the minimum, making 55, $75,000 a year? That's a base salary. Some that deal with like elite couples or singles making over $100,000 a year, watching some kids teaching them, cooking food for them, letting them watch some, TV or whatever, being there in their parents' absence, making over $100,000 a year, and then you hear broke ass bitches. Excuse me, this is kind of personal and passionate. Um, that talk about, oh, I don't even, I got enough with my own kids.
You big dummy.
So it's like, I mean, I can't help nobody, just like, you can't necessarily force a horse to drink water. You can only lead them to it, type of thing. And it's like, yeah, this is the dichotomy of a poor person passing over opportunity repeatedly. Yep, definitely, 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 all day long.
Message.
So, basically, um, another final note that I want to talk about is, you got people, we live in a competitive world. We live in a competitive world, right? Live in a very, very competitive world. And in that world of competition, it can get to a certain level of jealousy and envy, because people don't people don't want you. A lot of times people don't really want you to be successful, and it's nothing to do with that you can't pay them back, or because they don't think you can pay them back, or you're not qualified, or whatever. It's because a lot of times, if you look a certain way, if you're kind of like a statuesque person, kind of like an alpha male, look like you could tackle a motherfucker with a 10-yard loss. um you kind of pretty much look a certain way. You have a distinct rare look about you. You know what I'm saying? You already pretty much doing pretty good with 95 to 90% or 99% less than what they particularly have, right? And if they give you the success, they're thinking, oh, they already know, you're gonna be driving good, looking good, dressing good, you know, all of that above, and you probably most likely you might be able to, what I'm saying, make they might be able to get their money back. They might even know that you probably can get their money back, from a loan, or even, they like your product. They just don't like you. They want to listen to you, but they don't want to support you because they don't want you to be successful, because you already are cheating damn near, because you was born with natural gifts that they don't have, or you have natural gifts that they don't have. You have successes that they don't even have, and they have way more money than you have. Or the successes that they get, they have to pay a lot of money for it. They have to damn near be a millionaire to get this to get certain levels of success that you can get, basically, um for a Dollar Tree price, or even free 99. So yeah, I mean, that's a lot of times how that goes. they just don't want you to be successful because some people, if they get money, they gonna make everybody else look mediocre. Like myself. I mean, shit. Give me $1 million. You know what I'm saying? I'll pay it back, and I'll look good doing it. You know what I'm saying? Where other people, they're pretty much they'll have $10 million, and they still gotta pay for certain things that you ain't gotta pay for. I'll just keep it like that. I'll keep it PG. So let me try this out. I guess I'll play one game of chess on this here Memorial Day and see what it do. If I lose, I'll play another, you know, or maybe if depending on the situation, I'll play another game. If depending on how quick the other one ends or whatever. Let's just see. Let's just see. Let's see here, man. It's been a long time since I used this computer. Oh, let's see here. All right, we got it logged in. Got this puppy logged in. And we gonna get started. Yeah, so let's get this puppy on the road. Share my screen. All right. All right, let's get things started. Let me play a little background music. Make things a little let's see here. Let's see what I got. Let's see here. Let's see what I got. A little background music. Let me see if I can start me up something. Now I'm gonna play. I'll play 5 minutes. Oh, Israel. All right. That's enough of that. Yeah, some heavy hitters, huh? Greece, huh? Jews and Greece. I mean, no pun intended. Uh oh, he got me. He got my ass. Damn, he got a Zook Swan. Ooh, how can I get out of this Zook Swan? I gotta move here. See, he tried to get me. Tried to get my ass. Woo! Trying to get my ass, boy. I gotta get out of the way. That was a good move there. That was a good one. Hmm. Yeah, this is another one. Let's play another five. Uh-oh, running out of time. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Running out of time. Running out of time, buddy. Catch me if you can. I'm the gingerbread man. He called me. Yeah. All right. Well, at least I know it's the lag is dealt with. But yep, call this one. All right. I know I need to sharpen up. One thing about playing chess, I know my mind is not where it need to be if I'm taking L's. Uh, but I'm gonna try next time. I'm gonna try 3 minute chess because 5 minutes is still enough time to cheat. But I don't know. I didn't necessarily play pretty good, so I'm gonna get back into class and sharpen up my skills. But anyway,
The shit's chess, it ain't checkers.